Hey guys, welcome back to Central Tabletop Gaming. I am your host, Jeremy Kelly, and today we're going to go over a little bit of a rant. Now, throughout this whole COVID-19 thing, things have been very strange. And I would like to address some of the common misconceptions that I've personally noticed. Now, that's not saying that anyone in this video is being targeted, and this is also not saying that, you're wrong for thinking the way you are. If I am wrong on any of these future comments, please feel free to give me a link to your information, and I mean like a website that you found your information, down below so you can correct me. But let's go ahead and get started. So one of the big things I complained about originally was everyone buying toilet paper. That is probably the number one thing that threw me through a loop. And my mother-in-law, who works at a hospital, made the best statement about it, which I would like to use as a quote here. That unless you think that a flu is coming out your ass, then you're buying the wrong product. Now, this is very true. Coronavirus is a respiratory-based illness, making it to where when we breathe it in, it's more of a problem for us because it gets into all this. Now, the downside is part of number two that I'm going to bring up. The second biggest complaint that I've ever had is people forget that COVID-19 isn't bacterial. So, you got to remember, certain things just don't work on it. When you get the flu and a flu virus, you have to remember, doctors don't give you antibiotics for a reason. They're not going to. There's nothing an antibiotic can do for the flu. It's a virus. You have to let it run its course. Now, there are ways to help your body fight against viruses, so don't think I'm saying that's not possible. And I have to say, my spirit was lifted the other day because I just read about a 103-year-old woman who beat Corona. I don't know her name or else I'd say it, but congratulations to that woman because I don't blame you for cracking a beer even as someone who doesn't drink. Now, next on my list is people who are buying hand sanitizer. Now, I'm with and against this one, but people buying it for the purposes of fighting COVID-19 don't realize that this is not going to work. Most hand sanitizers, if you read the thing, will say on the bottle kills 99.9% of germs. Again, going back to the fact that the coronavirus is not a bacterial infection, this does not work and has led to a lot of common misconceptions. So, if you are someone who is buying a ton of hand sanitizer thinking you're fighting this, you are keeping yourself a little more healthy and preventing you from being exposed to other people's illnesses that they can pick up along the way. I myself am what I call a carrier. I don't get sick. Now, I don't mean carrier of COVID, but I am a carrier of other diseases because I don't get sick. However, I risk bringing sickness home every time I'm out because I don't catch it. Sadly, my wife has the same thing, and this has caused several little issues, but we just keep sure that we're washed properly, bathed properly, however you want to word it, and we make sure that we are trying to make little steps to help each other out there. Now, moving on to number 4. This one isn't so much a problem so much as it is people possibly just being lazy, but when you're actually going to wear your face mask, as much as I say that it is a misconception of how much that's going to work because how it's done, it's actually more how people are using it. The moment you do this, no matter if you're wearing the face mask or not, you just put whatever was on your hands there. And that makes it so much harder for your body to fight it off because now it's that much closer to all your exposed regions. Look at it. You got an entrance here, entrance here, entrance here, and as much as people don't believe it, things can get through your eyes. And that's something that people forget is you can't touch your face when you're doing stuff like that. Now, not saying that you can't adjust your mask, you're going to kind of have to every now and then, because the way to properly wear a mask, and I'm just going to use my hand to represent because I don't have a mask on me, is you want it like this. You want it over your nose. If you wear glasses, you want to put your glasses here, the bridge of your nose. Anyone who wears glasses knows exactly what I'm talking about. And then you're going to want to put the mask directly under it, doing a little line there. So keep that in mind. The last misconception I have heard about COVID-19, and probably the one driving me most insane, is the crowd numbers. Now, let me say this. 2 people is enough to spread corona. 20 people is enough to spread corona. One person, even by themselves, is still enough to spread corona. What the reason for all these numbers are is so that way you can make sure you're a little bit safer by keeping your distance from those who may also cause harm. Now, I know they have the thing up right now where I live where everyone's supposed to stay 6 feet away from each other at any given time, although they don't really care about it if you're family, but that's its own thing. But the reason that is done is because bacteria only flies out your mouth so quickly. One thing that I learned a long time ago is if I sneeze at 99 miles per hour. And it usually travels out to 6 feet. So assuming that's where some of the logic comes from, that would make sense to me. But it is still safe to keep that 6 feet. But you have to remember, the moment you grab anything, it no longer applies. Because hypothetically, if I let one of my friends drive my car, just because I wasn't in the car doesn't mean there's not the risk I could catch it. Now, I forget how long COVID can live outside the body. So keep in mind, I'm not going to say a number that I'm not aware of. But that means that it is able to stay outside the body for a duration. And you have to remember ways to fight that. So, again, I'm not trying to call anyone out here. If you're one of the people who believe in a misconception or I was wrong, please comment down below and let me know I was wrong. But if you're one of the people who believes in one of these misconceptions that is correct, please do me a favor and try to adjust so that way you know how to properly keep yourself safe and healthy. Now, again, I don't do these videos too often, but it was driving me insane. My stepmother, again, working at a hospital, has to endure this. My mother, who is working at a retirement home, has to deal with this. So I would think they have a little more knowledge since they're forced to stay up to date with the CDC. And with the Center of Disease Control, make sure that you only get information from their website. I've looked at not YouTube. I've looked at Facebook a few times, and I'm starting to notice that people are not pulling from the proper sites. So please make sure when you do, you are looking at the Center of Disease Control properly. If you do not see it yourself, I am actually fine with you believing it doesn't exist, due to the fact that without the actual fact, it doesn't work. Too many people are taking it from second source information or complete third parties that make up fake news all the time. And that is going to make more and more problems. Now, one more thing, people, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you are one of those people who is being forced to stay inside and endure during these hard times, thank you. As much as that sounds strange, thank you. People aren't going to realize that you trying to not get anyone else sick, you are doing the right thing, and I pray for your swift recovery. And I'm not super religious, but you know what I mean. So, please get better soon, because we can't wait to have you back in the community when you're safe and healthy again. If you're one of the people who is currently safe and healthy, please just try to maintain how you are right now. Try to make sure you take those little extra precautions. I know they seem weird, but every step you take prevents someone else from getting sick, because people like me can carry most diseases and not even know we're doing it. And COVID doesn't show up right away, so you have to be extra cautious with that. But today's a nice day. I've got a few friends to see, and just make sure they're doing okay. I just gotta drop off a few things of food for them because I want to help them out. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna go home and go back to self-isolation. You guys take it easy and have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.